and taste. Sweet. Sour. So good to taste.
This is Great Taste on KRUU 100.1 FM, the solar-powered voice of Fairfield, Iowa. I'm Steve Boss. Welcome to Hy-Vee and the Hy-Vee Club Room. We're very happy to have you here for 60 minutes of delicious radio. Before we actually get started with the show, I want to just dedicate this show to Jerry Deprey. Jerry has he was a great person who was always here every Wednesday night. He and his son Jason. Jerry passed away on Sunday, so he always sat in the front row with Jason. He was here last week, even helping out with some translation when I was not able to come. And so, Jerry, I know you're going to enjoy watching us, and hopefully you won't have too much criticism of what we do. So, anyway, Emily Rose Shaw, our health coach, welcome. We're glad to have you back. Emily had been working with us every week for months and months at a time, for about 6 months, I think, right? That was great. And now she's going to continue in that role, advising us about health on a twice-a-month basis, so we're very, very excited about that.
It's wonderful to be back, and when I wasn't here, I really missed it, I have to say. It's become part of my routine, and I love coming and taking in the aromas of the food and just talking about healthy food, so it's really fun for me.
Okay, so you are working right now on a special project. Well, you're working on so many things, but you're working on a special project, the Blue Zone Project. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with Blues Brothers or the Blue Nose Gazoo or anything like that. So what are blue zones?
So research was done on the highest concentrations of centenarians, people who live to 100 or longer. And this led to the identification of 5 locations worldwide, so in California, Costa Rica, Italy, Greece, and Japan, and these were dubbed the blue zones. And so then they were wondering, are there traits that kind of are commonalities between all of these, the healthy habits? And they did find 9. They're called the Power 9 Principles. So they cover a range of healthy lifestyle habits, and we've actually covered a lot of them on the show already. So I'll just give you a short synopsis of each of them. So the first one is to move naturally. So the longest living people are not going to the gym and pumping iron and running marathons. They're riding their bike to work. They're doing what we call functional exercise, or they plant a garden and they harvest their own food. So moving naturally. So it's kind of moving and burning calories without even really realizing it, which is a good thing. And then the second one is purpose. So knowing your sense of purpose in the world, that connection to yourself, to your friends and family, to the world is actually worth up to 7 years of extra life expectancy. So that's a big one. The third is downshift. So even people in the blue zones experience excess stress. So having a strategy in place that can deal with that is really important. As we know, stress is pretty much the root cause of all chronic disease. The fourth one is the 80% rule. So to stop eating when your stomach is about 80% full, because it actually takes time for our brain to catch up to our stomach. And so doing that is a really good rule of thumb that can save calories and prevent weight gain just by stopping and really savoring your food. So it goes back to that mindful eating principle that we talked about on the show. The fifth one is the plant slant. So focusing on plant-based diet. The cornerstone of these cultures is a lot of beans, of rice, of fruits and vegetables. So incorporating a lot of whole plant foods into the diet has shown to be really healing and effective for weight loss and for disease prevention. And then the sixth one is wine at 5. So there's evidence that having a little bit of wine in moderation has some health benefits. But there's also that social aspect of it. So it's getting together with your friends and laughing and just enjoying your time together. And often that could be around a glass of wine. Number 7 is having a right tribe. So having a supportive social circle, a supportive family that also want to be healthy is really important, because everyone in our social circle and our family really influences us. So if you have a friend who likes to exercise, it's more likely that you'll do it with them because you have shared goals. Number 8 is community. So whether it's you're going to a faith-based service or have a spiritual practice or some kind of a community event like the Blue Zones Project activities, that's really important as well. And then number 9 is putting your family first. So putting a lot of love and energy and attention into your family. A lot of our habits around food and health form when we're young. So putting that into your family can be passed down through generations is really great. So as the Seventh-day Adventists, which are, I believe they're at the California location, as they demonstrate, following these Blue Zones principles, you can actually add 10 to 12 years to your life expectancy. So I think it's worth it.
Wow. Okay, so now, yeah, it's very interesting. That's fascinating. I mean, you've already enlightened me a lot about this whole project because I didn't realize that it had so much research behind it, actually. So that's fascinating. So now, all right, what exactly then is the project itself, the Blue Zones Project?
So the Blue Zones Project is about designing blueprints, basically taking these 9 principles, these traits, and inserting them into different communities, picking communities and trying to build build communities like these 5 places that we talked about. So it was first implemented in 2009 by Dan Buettner. He's a best-selling author of the book Blue Zones, as well as some other books. He's also a National Geographic Fellow. And his partner, they did a blueprint in Albert Lea, Minnesota. And so as a result of just doing it for 1 year, there was an average weight loss of 2 pounds for participating residents. There was an increase in average life expectancy of 2.9 years, and a 20% reduction in absenteeism for key employers, among a bunch of other amazing statistics. And that was just in 1 year for one community. So now the Blue Zone Project is a national initiative really aimed at building healthier, happier communities by providing engaging activities and tools so that we can make healthy choices wherever we are, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's on the road, there'd be choices for healthier choices for eating in these communities, wherever we are, to have that available. And Dan is currently working with Healthways to implement the program in 3 beach cities in Los Angeles, in Fort Worth, Texas, in Kauai, and the entire state of Iowa. And in 2011, as part of Governor Terry Branstad's plan to make Iowa the healthiest state within 5 years, communities across Iowa are really undergoing these amazing healthy transformations. So we're very lucky being here in Iowa and in Fairfield. And what's really great is the well-being is actually being measured. So I gave you those statistics. So they're using what's called the Gallup Healthways Well-Being Index. And just a little stat for Iowa, the data shows from 2011 to 2012, in 1 year, Iowa was brought up from the 16th place to the 9th place in the nation on the well-being index. So in 1 year, so yeah.
And it wasn't even fully implemented then, right?
Right. I mean, it's growing rapidly. There's more and more communities that are, I believe, trying to reach this designation. There's different criteria they have to meet, and there's different criteria for the workplace, for restaurants. Here at Hy-Vee, you'll see Blue Zone. I think little, stickers that say it's Blue Zone certified healthy food. So it's really everywhere. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing.
All right, so now what tools or resources does the Blue Zone Project offer in terms of improving our diets?
So there's a lot of resources and tools on the website bluezonesproject.com. And this is something you can download. It's the food list. So they just have a list of a lot of healthy foods that are common in these Blue Zone areas. So, it's things we've heard about before: dark green vegetables, orange red foods. So things that have a lot of color have a lot of antioxidants, which is really great for longevity. Plant proteins, whole grains, and then they'd have a little fish, some eggs, olive oil, honey. So different things. You can download that. And then what I think is really cool is this Blue Zone's kitchen checklist. So you can actually go on and check off these simple little tasks that you can do to make your kitchen Blue Zones friendly. So things like dedicating the top shelf of your refrigerator to fruits and vegetables is one of them. Storing your snacks in little prepackaged, pre-portioned baggies because that's been shown to help us eat less.
Instead of eating that whole bag of barbecue potato chips that my wife bought the other day, which is like, why did you bring that home?
Yeah, so you could portion those out in little baggies and eat them over a longer period of time. And having dinner plates that are 10 inches or smaller. So that's a mindful eating practice that really does prove to help us because we eat with our eyes too, and we want the plate to be full and beautiful, and so seeing that all full on the plate, it's a little trick that we can play that we can still be satisfied with eating less. And there's a whole bunch more that you can go on and download.
All right, and now what's the first step that any individual can do to get involved in the project?
So the first step is to go on the Blue Zone Project Fairfield's Facebook page, and you can sign up for the newsletter and really know what's going on in Fairfield. There's different things in the works, healthy cooking classes, walking groups, people getting together and walking, which I think is great. So it's facebook.com/Fairfield BZP Blue Zone Project. And then the second step is to go to the bluezonesproject.com and pledge. You can pledge and do really simple, healthy activities, and then go back and check off that you did them. And then there's thousands of people who are doing this, and every person doing it makes a difference, and then it really adds up to big change.
That's fantastic. Well, I really am excited hearing about all this because I didn't think it had as much substance. Just hearing about it, I really didn't think it had that real substance to it, but it does. It's got a lot, especially, and it gives the individual, it empowers the individual to take it into their own control. Now, are a number of restaurants in Fairfield actually working on this?
Yes. There is someone working on, there's three. I'm seeing that there's 3 certified Blue Zone restaurants in Fairfield. Yes, and I know that there's more that are working. They're working with them to try and get through all the criteria.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes. So we'll look forward to seeing you again very shortly.
Yes. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Emily Rose Shaw, our health coach. You can find her at EmilyRoseShaw.com. All right. So we are going to get to, I'm so glad that you're free now because you weren't free a second ago. Gisella Isidori is here. She is
we will get copy.
Honoring.
We will have copy of her, what she talked about.
You want a copy of what Emily talked about? Sure.
Copy, and not only for me, but for them too.
Well, certainly we'll get it for, sure. Emily will get it for you, absolutely. A couple of converts already.
We want to. I have a copy of the first one when I was here, and I like it very much. I think it's very, very important.
Excellent. All right.
Okay, I'm here now.
You are?
Yes.
Fantastic. I am so glad to have you here, as always, because...
Yeah, to represent Italy.
Because...
as usual.
I have such a great love for Italy. So, Viva Italia, see?
Yes.
So, you have 2 great people assisting you.
I know.
Yes.
It's a luxury tonight for me because I don't do nothing. I just have to direct to this, to that,
Kelly Kinsler and Savannah Stroder here from Indian Hills Culinary Arts Program, and we really appreciate you guys coming and helping us out. So tell us a little bit about what you have on the menu.
Oh, what I have in the menu is, first of all, some of the product, as I told you, my recipe, they are based on Italian regional recipe, but I'm trying to use everything that is local. This is very important. And I just found out today that Iowa has chestnut. I didn't know. Did you try it? No. They're good? Like the Italian one?
No, because they're not marrone.
I know, but, we don't care. We can also have, everything in this country is very big, but the chestnut from Iowa, they're very tiny, small. So anyway, I'm sure they're probably pretty good. What are we going to do tonight? Actually, what they're going to do tonight, because I don't do much, We are going to start off to make, excuse me, just 1 second. Just for your kids, we will make a sandwich that is for Halloween. So for your kids at Halloween, you can make a sandwich made like this one. So we will show it to you.
But because this is an Italian cookie show, we're going to call it a panino.
Yeah, no, not even panino. This is called tramezzino, okay? Because it's half. Mezzo, tramezzino. So you will not taste it. You will just look it. That's it, because you have to learn. We cannot make everyone. Second,
wait 1 second. I have to see. I'm looking at Tom Allen because, I didn't know exactly when you had to go. Can you play right now? Oh, good. Okay.
Stop. We have some music now. I hope they're going to be Italian music.
It is actually, but I didn't realize he had to go this second. So we'll get right over to him and we'll come back. So hold on 1 second. So is it Italian music, right?
Yeah, it's definitely Italian music. It's Matteo Carcassi, who is an Italian composer, and this is a little zippy Italian etude for classical guitar.
Tom Allen, everybody. You know, I always give you a hard time when you play classical music, but I love it. It's always great. It's it's wonderful.
Thank you. I love this stuff.
Anything else you want to say?
I'm going to be playing with the Southeast Iowa Chamber Singers at the holiday concert December 14th and 15th, so got a couple of really nice pieces for that.
Beautiful. And we'll see you next week?
Yeah.
I hope so. All right. So now that made me hungry for Italian food. So let's get back to that.
I go back to that.
We've got the tramezzino.
The tramezzino, they're going to work on it, so you can see it. And then the first Italian thing, it will be a pumpkin soup, Italian style. So it will be like this. You will get some soup over a crusty bread, if it's going to be ready, because you got the frozen stuff.
No, you got the other bread.
We try. Anyway, it will be a very nice pumpkin soup that we will put back into the pumpkin, and we will serve it from there. So it will be a slice of bread, lots of cheese, Parmigiano, and cheddar, because I love cheddar, and it will be creamy with a little bit of ginger and herbs. So I think you will like it. Then we are going to do straccetti romani. Now, I know that lots of you are vegetarians, so I'm sorry. But it's turkey. So some people, they still eat turkey. It's very simple recipe. It's actually a very ancient Roman recipe. It's usually the Jewish people, if you go to the Roma at the Jewish ghetto, that's what they serve. Of course, this is beef. As a matter of fact, 10 days ago, I did this recipe with a new cow that is being bred now in America, but it's a cow from Piemonte called Fassona. It's a very special white cow with very, very lean meat, and it's been brought in to the Denver, Colorado area, but it's actually the big ranch is in Nebraska. So I met the rancher last year in February when I went to see a livestock show in Denver, and I said, this looks very good. I don't eat a lot of meat, but if it's good meat, I like to have it. So I called Italy, and I called the Association of the Fassona Cow, and I said, many years ago, I think somebody brought in this type of cow. I said, yes, and it's been doing very well. The big chef, like Mario Batali, like really big chef, are using this meat because it's very lean and it's very tasty. And so I said, okay, do you have a day that you present this cow? I said, oh yes, we have Piemonte's Day, and you are invited to be our guest. So I sat down to see when they give prize to the best cow, the best bull, for about 5 hours there. Then, then finally it was cold, but it was interesting, to see. And then I was invited to this huge barbecue that they make, hamburger, they make the tasting. And then in the evening they did a beautiful dinner at the hotel. And then I said, well, I come to Nebraska very often, I go to see my other rancher, but maybe I will come and visit you. So they said, well, if you want, we can send you some meat to taste. Can you develop some recipe? I said, yes, why not? And they also pay me, they say.
Can't get much better than that.
That's right. I said, why not? Mm-hmm. So they send me the meat, and I work out 5 different recipes. Very different, picking actually, recipe from different area.
Different areas of Italy.
They said, don't do any raw meat recipe. America will never eat raw meat. But the Fassona is really made to have like tartar steak and carne cruda. This is because the meat is amazing.
And that's a big specialty in Piemonte.
It's a very, very big specialty. Or in certain area where chefs, they want to buy this thing. So anyway, among the different, I made one stracotto, with Barolo. Oh, because not only I had to develop the recipe, but they asked, can you pair each recipe with Italian wine and with American wine? So for 1 week, I was looking all over for, great, the Italian wine, more or less, I knew, but the American, I didn't know. So anyway, I got that. So they were very, very happy. And the only thing is they said to me, we cannot pay you because you are an American citizen. I don't care. I am an Italian old lady. Just send me the money.
I love that. Okay, so, what I want to do is I want to find where those newspaper, here they are. I want to talk a little bit about what?
First I have to tell something. In this room tonight, we have a couple from Verona, Italy, that they were the people who made me and my husband come to Fairfield 1995 to stay with their daughter and their son. So you can imagine I did spend, 2 winters with the snow like this one. We were living in a trailer. The boys, they were they were young kids. And me and my husband, we were like mama and papa for them, So it was really very nice. So 1995 is almost, 20 years?
Almost.
18 years.
Yeah, this is the Daldosos are in here, right? So that's great.
So these are the people, they are the one who took me here.
All right. So what I want, because I want to talk about a little bit about Gisella and her place in terms of the culture of Italian food in the United States. This
This is a little
is
bit too much.
this is
It's
too
not
much?
really- no, it's not really. People, they say in Italy that they don't like to, they like traditional ravioli. But being in America, I needed to have an artistic ravioli. So here they are.
These are beautiful,
This is a beautiful.
different types of ravioli.
Yeah. Well, I have the Christmas tree. I have for Christmas. I have the little bear. I have the bell for Easter. I have the butterfly for spring. I have the multicolored fish. And many of these ones, they were ravioli that they used to pay me $1.50 at Dina De Luca, a Balducci, all the very fancy restaurants. They used to order to me and to my husband. My company was called Ciao Italia in those days. And they were ordering all these special ravioli. And I had one guy that he was the president of Sheeran and Lehman's. Now he's gone anyway, Mr. Robinson, that he was vegetarian. And he always wanted me to make ravioli made with oat bran dough. And inside, I used to buy goat aged cheese from California and the artichoke heart, all mixed with this one. And he used to send me the chauffeur, to pick them up, pay me $1.50 for this type of ravioli.
For each piece.
For each piece. This was the ravioli that he wanted.
She's pointing because this is a radio show, but she's pointing to, which one are you pointing to?
Yeah,
It's the Mezzaluna.
We do it anyway. Tomorrow night we do it at your
Don't
show.
tease people; they can't come, so don't tease them about it.
Right.
But the point is that the point I want to try to make here is that this is many years ago.
1986.
Just a few weeks ago, Dan Barber, who's one of the most famous chefs in the United States, he's the chef of Blue Hill at Stone Barns in Westchester County, New York, held a workshop for top chefs from all over the world. Ferran Adria was there, and numerous other chefs from around the world and in the States. And the workshop was all about grain, and it was all about the importance of grain and the potential for chefs to actually work with farmers to create grains that would be more, we'll say, delicious and healthy for everybody. Now, what I want to point out is that in 1989...
1990, this one.
This is 1990? Okay, sorry. So in 1990, where are we here? So in 1990, here's Gisella making buckwheat pasta in New York City. So this is New York Times. So this is almost 25 years ago. She was already making pasta with, and that was just buckwheat, because there's another article here that showed, let's see, where is that? Where's your other one? Yeah, but where's the other one which shows about grains? It says, stalking the wild grain and weed, and these are all, you can't see this if you're on the radio, of course, but I can describe it. It's a picture of all these different specialty pastas that were made with grains other than wheat.
Organic grain from all over United States. Then me and my husband was traveling around with the Amtrak train, going and visit farmers all over the state because each state has a special grain. So I was the first one to make quinoa, black quinoa that you find in the mountain of Colorado. I was the first one to do buckwheat that you now find in Iowa too, but actually was in New York State. Kamut from Montana, rye, blue corn from my friend in Nebraska. So we used to make a big variety of 100% organic grain in a health food store in 1985. And I have people like Robert De Niro, Woody Allen, all the models, because it was she to come and get this. They were jerks. They didn't know what they were getting. But anyway, it was important.
It was just the thing of the time.
It was just the thing. And then I divided my client in three very different, sections who were buying, health food. So they were the rich and the snob, that they come with a limo, to pick up, a pan of pasta. And then there were the sick people, lots of sick people, like a friend of mine cured herself with buckwheat, cured herself cancer in her lung. So she, they were coming to buy that one because they were in macrobiotic, all that one. And then the young people, very young people with no money, so they will buy a quarter of a pound of pasta, 1 tomato, And so we developed the grain. For us, it was important to do grain more than anything else. But then, being Italian, we began to do truffle pasta, tutti frutti pasta. So I used to get all the veggies that they were not, being organic, they were, not good. In 1 day or 2, I have to take it. So if we had artichoke, we will make artichoke pasta. If we will mushroom, we will make mushroom pasta. If we have strawberry, I work out tutti frutti pasta. And it was fruit from different, so it was beautiful color. And everything was 100% organic. So that was in 1985.
A person who is way ahead of her time. You're listening to Great Taste on KRUU 100.1 FM, the solar-powered voice of Fairfield, Iowa. I'm Steve Boss. 60 minutes of delicious radio coming to you from Hy-Vee and the Club Room. And we want to get back to this, all your amazing stories, because I want to talk in just a minute or two about how every dish has a story behind it, because this is something that you brought home again to me last night at our house. But before we get to that, I need to speak with Jan Swinton for a minute, because she has something that she would like to tell us all about. Jan is our hometown food coordinator. She also coordinates local food efforts for 13 other counties, I believe, other than Jefferson County. But we call her our own hometown food coordinator because she's based here in Fairfield. Yeah. So, hi.
She goes to the mountain too.
She goes all over the place.
Giselle goes to Colorado, and I was in Colorado about a month ago.
She was in Colorado when they have this horrible, flood. And I said, oh, my God, you are in Colorado. She said, oh, no, I don't care. I am on top of the mountain.
Yeah, we were hiking up in the top of the mountains, so we didn't run into the flood problems, so it wasn't so bad. So October is Farm to School Month. And so we're working all the way around my 13 counties to get more healthy local food into the schools. And an easy thing to put into schools right now is apples. There's a lot of apples. This year we had a great spring. The flowers all bloomed and they all made great fruit. And so we've had delicious apples in a lot of schools right now. And then the other part of that project is that this is the 4th quarter of a 1-year project. And so we're finally, this Monday at 4 o'clock, right after school, breaking ground for the greenhouse project. We got it completely funded. It took a long time to get the funding for the heating system underneath. Alliant Energy, one of their Bright Idea grants, came through and gave us the last $30,000, and that's the heat transfer system for under the greenhouse. And so we'll be breaking ground on Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock out behind the Schloss Voorhees building, and that will be a production facility for our schools. Everything, 100% of what's grown in there will go to the public school system, and so we're very excited to get that program finally off the ground.
So you expect that, right? It's tremendous. So you expect that the first food from this program will be in the spring?
No, we're growing this winter.
This winter you're going to be growing. Absolutely. Oh, you are ambitious.
Yes, we think that it will all be up by Thanksgiving, but we're kind of saying end of the year. But yeah, we think that it will actually be all completely up and growing stuff by Thanksgiving, and then it'll take till January until we've got something to harvest.
So in a nutshell, can you tell us how this effort is being accepted or embraced by some of the local school systems?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. Buying food, like buying barley and having to first grind it and then make it into something and then finally cook it and serve it, takes more time and it takes more labor. So the schools that are doing it well are the ones who have found time-saving devices like a combination oven, where there's convection as well as heat as well as steam in the same oven. And so if you put in a pan of broccoli in one of those ovens in about 3 minutes, this broccoli is steamed and ready to eat. Or if you put in a whole tray of hamburger patties in just about 30 seconds, they're steamed and cooked and ready to eat. And so they're finding that they don't need that early morning, lots and lots of prep, heavy lifting time. Instead, they're coming to work about 8 o'clock and they're having their lunch at 10 and they're serving until about 1. And then the cleanup only takes about an hour or two. So what we're doing is trying to keep that same labor force working in a more efficient, more effective way. And what we hope to do, we have an agreement with the Fairfield School, first of all, for 100% of our produce to go into in that early section before they're actually cooking. And so for the first 1 or 2 hours in the morning, they'll be receiving our vegetables fresh, dirty, not even washed off, from the greenhouse, and they'll have to be washing and sanitizing and then preparing for storage right there in the school. And so about once a week we'll be taking a whole load of stuff over there. We're very excited about it. We think that there will be enough salad greens and vegetables for salad bars sort of things, that there will be more than the Fairfield School can handle.
What I'd like to do is let's talk about in the spring, after you've been doing this for a few months, maybe you can get some of the school personnel and some of the kids to come over and we'll talk on the show to see what they think.
Yeah, it's a huge research facility on a number of levels. We're putting in earth tubes, which will bring the heat down into the soil 6 feet down below the surface, and then also bring cool up into the greenhouse during the summertime. And so that'll be a big thing that has not been really done much in Iowa. Again, in Colorado, while I was out there, I visited a couple facilities that did that. And they have universities that have studied that. And in Colorado, their soil is full of gravel. It's granite. And so they transfer and hold heat better than our topsoil, better than our dirt. And then above that, at 4 feet down under the greenhouse, we'll have a whole PEX tube system with hot water running through. And we're using the waste heat from a manufacturing plant to heat the water and put it into a big tank and then spread it out into the soil. And so it's just, with the data bus system that Jerry Deprey, I can't believe he's really gone, that Jerry Deprey had found for us and designed for us. That will be the 15 thermometers that will be from 20 feet down in the soil to 20 feet above the top of the house. We'll be putting thermometers all over the place to test how the heat moves around in the soil. So very exciting. It'll be a research facility and a tour facility, and we've got one of our 6th grade biology teachers that's going to be bringing a club out there after school at least once a week. So
Fantastic.
yeah, I'm just very excited.
No, we can't tell. Thanks, Gian.
Wait, James, 1 second. I'm trying, I don't know if I can manage, but it's like a dream, and it looks like that is going to be maybe going to be done, is to make Fairfield sister city or Patto di Amicizia, a friendly city, with a little town in Romagna that it does exactly the same thing like you're doing. It's a young mayor, very much alive. So tomorrow I have lunch with the mayor and with Dick, and try to work this out, And then I did a lot of research about Iowa, So I called the tourist office, and they told me, and I said, when Fairfield was born? 1839, 1859, something like that. Because the mayor in Italy said to me, you cannot, they have to have some similitude in it, they have to be a little bit similar. So they definitely are green, totally green. I mean, when I go there, I stay in a hotel that is totally made with nothing is chemical. They have a garden with 458 different herbs that a man built in 1938 and is still today. And when you go in, you have a man and a woman in wood, with little drawers, and each drawer tells you this herb is good for your heart, this herb is good for cooking, this herb is amazing. So that's what I'm working on. So wish me luck.
Good luck, Giselle. That would be a lot of fun. And
that would be good. So I will keep you posted. And of course, very important that also, some of your farmers start to grow if they can do acorn.
Okay.
Because in New York, it's coming out very good. So I think you have the soil to do it.
Acorns like from a tree, from an oak tree?
No. Acorn is a grain. Okay. It's a grain that is very ancient, that is like a farro type.
Is that in your little book?
It's a wheat. It's a progenitor of wheat.
Yes. It never was reproduced, and it's amazing. Just very. So if you have some of the farmers that they want to do something different. In my little book, I'm going to do a seminar in New York to the farmer and to the consumer and to the Union Square Farmers Market to talk about something that I discovered 25 years ago.
Right. Next week, you're going to be in New York at the Union Square Market, right? Doing that?
Nobody actually, knew about it.
Yeah, it takes people to catch up to you.
Yes, but I invested my own money, not making a penny.
Oh.
Now everybody's, Barber that I hate. He makes the worst thing, the worst food.
Really?
You know what he does? I don't understand chef how they can be so stupid. My friend Cecilia.
How do you really feel about it?
I don't like it. I will never. They took me there, spent a fortune. I will never go back. And I don't care to tell him. I'm very friendly with the people who's the manager of, the livestock of the Rockefeller estate. Mm-hmm. And the wife, she is the edible person for the magazine there.
Edible publications, right? Edible Manhattan, Edible Brooklyn.
And Long Island. So she's a good family. And they went for dinner, and they were kind of putting the barbecue like a verza, like a, what do you call, cabbage, and roasted, And then, he comes out and he talks with my friend Cecilia, that she's a very, very incredible food person, wrote a lot of book and, very famous in many ways. And they said, well, we are very proud to tell you that this cabbage is being roasted with the bones of the pig, because we need to use everything in the farm. Cecilia went back to Italy, went to the university. That is not possible to do it. How can you burn the bones of the pig to make wood?
I don't know. I'm confused as it is, but I'm going to go. Let's go. That was whatever.
Pig. Come on.
The poor pig. Well, let's do this. Let's talk about the amazing stories behind certain dishes, because it was so exciting last night. We were trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? Because we have to eat dinner, and we've got our one granddaughter there, and we're exhausted. And Gisella says, "Oh, we can do something very simple. We'll just do a risotto." And I thought, okay, risotto, whatever, right? But it's not exactly the same. It's cooked rice, but it's a little bit different. And all it is cabbage and potatoes and cheese and onion and sage, right? And it was like, okay, so we did it, and it was just amazing, so simple. And this is the thing that I love about how Gisella looks at everything in terms of food. And this comes from the fact that she has all this DNA built up from Italy for thousands of years of food tradition. And one thing about most Italians is that they don't try to clutter up food. They try to keep food uncomplicated. They don't like to use too many ingredients in things. They don't want to overcomplicate the situation or to muddy the tastes. They want everything to come there. And so what we had was we just had...
They put so much pepperoncino. It's Mexican. It's not Italian. And you cannot even put in your mouth. You don't have a feeling.
So we had just these very basic things: potato, cabbage, and fresh herb, and rice, and then some cheese. And afterwards we were sitting there, and she was musing. She was thinking back, this is a dish. What came to me is this is a dish that my grandmother used to make for us, and I hadn't thought about it in 20 years.
I think the last time I had it 20 years ago. And because yesterday, to tell you the truth, I said to him, can we make maybe pumpkin risotto? Can we make mushroom risotto? And I really did not like to make any of those. Actually, he did the cooking. I was dictating to him what to do, And I said, no, let's do something that my grandma used to make. And it turned out that I have three big, we finished a half a kilo of rice.
We did a pretty good damage, just a few of us, to something that should have been for a few more people, but that's okay. So, one of the things...
Let's go back to the cooking.
Yes, because one of the things that I realize is that we're not going to get too far into this. So let's talk a little bit about just the dish, the pumpkin soup. Where do you usually find that type of thing in Italy?
Emilia-Romagna. North of Italy, Emilia-Romagna, Ferrara, that area. The southern Italian, they give the pumpkin that here you think is such a beautiful butternut squash to the pig. They don't eat. They don't eat. We don't eat that. The pumpkin...
Wait. In all of Italy they don't eat that?
No. From Tuscany down, they use very little pumpkin. Now, instead, north of Italy, we use this kind of pumpkin, the one that is a little bit more flat and green, and we slice it and we make a very good we use it to make a good minestrone. And then we get the seed and we roast it.
What's the key to making a good minestrone?
Fresh ingredient. And like my grandmother made the best minestrone. Fresh ingredient, cook slowly, saute very well all the veggies, and very easy.
And old bread.
Well, the old bread we don't do it with minestrone. The minestrone, we can have the minestrone just, to eat the veggies, or we put pasta or rice. Mainly in the north, we do rice. So this one here, tonight we are doing, beside the very funny, look how cute they did.
Yeah, the tramezzini are very, very cute. I will put a picture up on the blog post if nobody eats it before I get a picture of it.
Right. And so that is something beside. I thought it was good to, if you have, little kids around the house, it would be very nice to have it. And actually, the second dish that we will make is going to be this turkey made Roman style. As I said to you, this recipe was really Jewish, Jewish from Rome. They used to make this beef, not turkey. They used to make beef. And if you still go to Roma and you want to have straccetti romani with arugula, we didn't find arugula, so we got the same thing. And it's the most simple and very easy things to do. Then we are going to make a mostarda.
Yes, what is a mostarda? Explain that.
A mostarda usually is made with different type of fruit. Now, again, it's done mainly north of Italy. So the one that I'm making is my own way to make that one. Usually you put many, many more things. And you do it one that is sour, sweet and sour. And it's too long to be able to make it because you need certain ingredient, and it's a Renaissance recipe. So it's good. This is the most simple thing that you can make, and you can have it instead to have cranberry from the cans, you should make that one and use it with your turkey, or you can use it with cheese, you can use it with meat, you can use it, I like to have it with polenta, you can use it as one.
It's like a condimento.
Condiment, yes. It's accompany something.
It can accompany cheese and
cheese and very good, and you will see of course it's fantastic with sausage.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about how it's made, because it's very simple, and we're not going to get to it on the show, so can you explain how you're going to make it?
Okay, we get that grape, we put it right here, we let the grape take out all the water.
And these are the red grapes.
Yeah, red grape seedless. We let the water, they have to take, we add any herbs that you like. I like to put mint, fresh oregano, and sage. And then I put usually pine nuts or walnuts. And then I let it, when everything is the grape is
very wrinkled.
Wrinkled and ready, I drizzle balsamic vinegar. And it's ready.
That sounds wonderful. I mean, that really, really sounds good. Okay, good. Because the smells are wonderful here, but we have to continue to get. I'm going to be right back to you because I have to see what's happening as far as the time is concerned. We're This is Great Taste on KRUU 100.1 FM, the solar-powered voice of Fairfield, Iowa. Gisella Isidori is our special guest, and we are coming to you live from the Hy-Vee Club Room. We have absolutely amazing people helping out back here, Savannah Strode and Kelly Kinsler, who are making it happen. And I love that you're using your hands because that is the way to cook, always using your hands. Can I light that up? Can I light the fire up? Which one? Does it matter? Both of them up. Okay. Okay, they don't work. Good. That's great. Okay. So, there we go. Okay, now, are we all right? I did it. This is my granddaughter would say, I did it. So there you go.
Oh, she speaks Italian.
That's true, she does.
You know, I talk to her in Italian, she answers me, and sometimes she even corrects me. It's funny, because I said to her, la seggiola. No, la sedia. She's so cute.
Yeah, she is. So, okay, so the grapes are going to go in. So now, let's see. So the chestnuts, I want you to just explain to people, because they're going to be able to find chestnuts all over the place now. If they're not in their backyards, they're going to find them at the farmers markets. They're going to find them in the stores, because this is the time of year for chestnuts. So what do they need to do to roast chestnuts?
Well, it's in the recipe, so you can put it on. You know?
Okay, so
the first thing that you have to do is definitely cut them.
You have to make an X. Is it on the bottom or the top of the chestnut or the side?
No, in the back.
On the back. The chestnut has a back?
Well, those little chestnuts, where you want to cut them? I don't know.
So anywhere on the large side, though, one of the large sides.
You need a volunteer who's going to cut those.
All right, we'll find somebody who's going to do that. Okay, so you make an X on the chestnut.
Yeah, and then you roast it.
Okay.
Depending if it be that you roast it in the oven, or we have a very beautiful pan in Italy with oils.
What's the name of that?
Come si chiama? La pentola per arrostire le
Castagne.
castagne. Sai che c'ha tutti i buchi? No, I don't know.
It's a lovely pan, though. It has holes all over it.
I have a very, very old one. Very old one. And you always keep it, near the fire, hang it there. It's
Right.
very
It looks beautiful. It looks real professional.
Very, very good.
Yeah, but that's the best way to do it, I think, is to do it on top of the stove like that.
Top of the stove, but if you don't have it, you just roast it.
You can
there.
throw it in the oven.
You just have to be very, very careful that they have to be cut, otherwise they can blow in your. They're very dangerous.
We don't want the chestnuts to explode in the oven, right? Okay, so I was going to find out. Let's see. You're going to preheat the oven, right? I'm going to tell people they preheat the oven to 425, and then we said, they put an X on one side of the chestnut, and you put the chestnuts on a baking sheet or in a shallow pan with the cut or pricked side up, and roast for 15 to 25 minutes in the oven or until the chestnuts are tender and easy to peel. So that's roasted chestnuts. So now, let's see. I think we've covered just about every dish that we have here. But tell us how you're going to make this turkey dish. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do it in a second. Just give me the time to wash the pan. That's all.
Okay.
Let me just going.
You want to do that, and I will do this. I will talk to people. Okay. So, by the way, we're using fresh herbs in the turkey. This is all in the turkey dish, right?
No.
No. What are we doing all this in?
No. Some of the turkey.
We've got salvia, sage,
Salvia,
mint, thyme, all fresh. And it's so easy. This is one of the things that anybody can do. You can have, we've talked about this before, you can always have fresh herbs in your home. So even if you don't have room outside, you don't have a yard, you can have little window boxes inside, and all throughout the winter you can make sure that you have fresh herbs to use. And there's nothing that picks up dishes better than fresh herbs. Matter of fact, when we were talking about the dish last night, the cooked rice dish that we did with the potato and the cabbage and the cheese, one of the things that we discussed is that when you finish that off with sprinkling it with fresh sage on the top of it just before you serve it, and fresh grated pepper, it just adds a completely new dimension to the whole thing because it's cooked with fresh sage, but sprinkling it right on the top when you serve it really adds this added dimension to it. It's wonderful. So I'm going to see. Does anybody have any questions for Gisella, by the way? If you do have anything, hold on. We have one question here. All right.
Was there some olive oil in with those grapes, or just nothing? Nothing. Just grapes.
Okay, so you can't talk. You have to wait for me. You can't. You have to wait. I'm running back here. Okay. All right.
No, you don't put nothing, just the grape.
Yeah, but you were going to say something else. You started to say something else when I was over there about the herbs.
Oh, the herbs, you can put whatever herbs you like. Like I like mint and oregano because I think they will go well with this one. But if you prefer to put, I don't think that basil will go good here. I think you need like mint will give a very good, and oregano are two together that they will mix very well. So now we just have to let this grape
Let the grapes cook. About how long do you think it takes?
It takes long because they take out a lot of water.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably, if we had a bigger pan, that would be better too, so we could spread it out,
that's
right?
What we have.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying, it's good to, if you're doing it at home, get yourself a big saucepan or don't crowd the grapes.
Some of my grape for my train ride tomorrow.
We can get you some grapes, don't worry, it's okay, it's all right. We'll be able to do that, not a problem. Okay, so, butter, what is the butter going to go into?
Yeah.
Into what?
Stracchetti.
Uh-huh, so when you make the stracchetti, you're actually going to cook the turkey in butter?
Yes.
Did they use turkey very much in Italy?
Now, yes, but they do mainly the breast. We don't do the tacchino arrosto, or we do
Tacchino is turkey.
Tacchino is turkey. We do maybe the leg or the breast, but we don't do the whole turkey. No.
Is this something relatively new, the use of turkey?
Well, it's new like having Halloween in Italy.
Which is very big now, isn't it?
They copy everything from America. I wish the Americans, they will learn to do a little bit better cooking.
Ah, because we don't cook very well, you don't think?
No, you cook very well certain things. Definitely, you make very good breakfast. When I'm here, I don't go to Italian restaurant. Why do I have to go to Italian restaurant? And there are certain things there. I mean, even macaroni and cheese is excellent if you use the right ingredient. It's good.
And that's the key. Always we talk about that, using the right ingredients. But one of the things that I really appreciate about your style, though, is, and this is something that everybody should know and realize, is that Gisella is very flexible. Even though she comes from this traditional Italian culinary heritage, she makes do with ingredients that you can find in your local area. So just because something calls for a particular type of cheese, like, for example, the dish that we did last night that we've talked about, really is a dish that in her town she would have used either Fontina Val d'Aosta or Casera. Right, but we don't have either of those cheeses readily available here. If you find a Fontina, it's usually not a very good one anyway. So what we did is we used cheddar, and we used a local cheddar. We used Milton Creamery, and it was perfect. It was an absolutely wonderful...
It's a very, very good, excellent. Now, what you said before, let me not burn the butter. Let me just...
Yes, do not burn the butter.
Don't burn the butter.
Right. And you know what? We have about a minute, so I'm just letting you know that what the time frame is here. Unfortunately, the hour goes by so quickly. All right, so what are you doing? You're putting flat leaf parsley on top?
Cilantro.
Cilantro, oh.
Is very good.
Cilantro is going into the mostarda. Interesting.
Yeah, because it has a different flavor than regular, parsley. Now, going back to what you said, that I have to be versatile.
Versatile.
Yeah. This comes that if in Italy we don't have one thing, we have to, we come from poor country. So we have to use what we had. Now everybody is very rich, so they have to eat salmon instead of simple pasta, or caviale, because they became very rich.
Uh-huh. I turned your pot down, by the way.
Yes.
Gisella, thank you so much. You're going to stay here, and we're going to continue. But meantime, we have to go because, unfortunately, they don't allow us to continue past our allotted time on the radio. So you've been listening to Great Taste on KRUU 100.1 FM, the solar-powered voice of Fairfield, Iowa. We're coming to you live from Hy-Vee in the club room, and Gisella Isidori has been our special guest. And Savannah Strode and Kelly Kinsler, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Thank you for all of your help. Tune in again next week to Great Taste, 60 minutes of delicious radio.
Great taste. Sweet. So good to taste.